Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I think last time I had an introduction, but I forgot how to do it. But it involved sipping coffee, so there's that. I just wanted to talk about some stuff today because I recently was on Reddit on r/language learning, and I found a post that was just sort of framed in a way that made me think. On our language learning, most of the comments and questions are essentially, "Hey, what language should I learn?" But it's not. But it was a nice way to phrase the question, and that question was, if you could learn one Mandarin or 3 to 4 European languages, would you? The wording is a little awkward, but essentially the original poster, they, I think, recently found that list, the list, I think it's by FSI, that says, it takes X amount of hours for a native English monolingual speaker to learn French and X amount of hours to learn Mandarin. And obviously Mandarin is at the higher spectrum of this list, I think somewhere up in 2000 hours or something like that. And something like French, which is very close vocabulary wise to English, is something like 600. So the question was, is it worthwhile when, if you put in the same amount of effort, theoretically, if you consider it just from a numbers point of view, you could have 3 to 4 European, Indo-European languages, or one Mandarin that you speak pretty well. And so it's, to me, it sort of comes down to, what do you mean by is one better or not? Obviously, if you are trying to just get numbers, you want to say that you learn, 4 languages, then obviously it's better to get the easier ones. So for example, if you are English monolingual, hitting around the Northern Scandinavian languages or the Romance languages, which the FSI ranks as being significantly easier, then good for you, and there's nothing wrong with just wanting to have a bunch of languages that you speak well. I do agree with the premise that it probably takes twice or 3 times as long to learn Mandarin than compared to other languages for English speakers. And that's because of, just how different it is, how different the alphabet is, because it's barely even an alphabet, it's a completely different system, how different the pronunciation is, the grammar, and even the fact that all the words and the vocabulary may not have a point of reference. If you have familiarity with Latin, then any language that has been affected by Latin, you might be able to find familiar words in other languages. Whereas Mandarin is sort of in another sphere of influence. So if you're just coming from English, there may not be as many words that you're familiar with. Another way to think about, is one language better than the other, is, does it look better on my resume? And you might say, similar to numbers, that you want a resume that has 3 languages, like English, French, Italian, or something like that, that might look more impressive to an employer than English and Mandarin. Of course, the other way is also possible. Mandarin still might be more, it might still look better on the resume because the world, is very aware of what the Chinese speaking sphere, the Sinosphere, or what China is doing. So if you're applying for a country that has a focus on China, then definitely a country. If you're applying for a job that has a focus on China or Chinese population, definitely Mandarin is the way to go. But of course, my answer is, and as I saw most people on the Reddit posts said, it's subjective. So if you want to learn a language because you're enthusiastic about it, then taking 4, 5, 10 years to learn one language, as opposed to 3 or 4 others that you're not as passionate about, is still worth it. So that's just my comment on a Reddit post that I saw recently. Let me know what you think on the question and if you have any experience with that. I hope to see you again, and bye for now.